Should I apply fake hair fibers to my temples, Chris? You're just not going to help me with that decision.
It's better to use some kind of like dye or like pencil.
Dominican.
Joseph, can you make a mental note to look into wigs? Just natural looking.
And 6XL.
66 centimeter circumference wigs. All right, we ready?
From a recycling center that rejects all spiritual waste, originally produced for Navy pilots under psychological observation, the voice echoes once more. Welcome to the Sam Hyde Show. Prepare yourself for a HOA meeting conducted entirely in prophetic dreams, a vending machine that only dispenses omens, and a live stream briefly recognized as a sovereign nation. And now, your host, the only civilian to be flagged as strategically unpredictable, Sam Hyde.
The Sam Hyde Show.
Do people still watch this after an intro like that? What else are you going to watch? Our guest tonight is a live streamer and commentator known for his work exploring the internet subculture often referred to as Looksmaxing. This is new, #1 ranked Chad right now, okay? He's coming up. He's on top. He's not coming up, he's on top. Hi. Thank you.
Oh, thank goodness.
You're shaking your head because the fact that it didn't break makes me look like a pussy. You're saying, hey, pussy, you couldn't break a single bottle? Why don't you crash out and start breaking all the glass in the studio? Maybe I will. So this guy's been exploring the internet subculture, often referred to as Looksmaxing. Or if I were writing the intro, I would say he is well, you did a good job. It's good.
It's ChatGPT.
It's ChatGPT. Guys, what are we kidding here? We're here with the #1 ranked Chad right now. New rankings, new Chad. 2026, the space moves fast. The #1 right now, Androgenic, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
See ya. What is the name Androgenic? It's not androgynous,
It's the opposite. So androgenic, it's essentially the adjective of androgen, which is male hormone.
okay.
So if something's androgenic, it's masculine on the hormonal level. So I think it's a fucking sick name.
It is a sick name.
Yeah.
It's an awesome name.
I can't pronounce it.
You can't pronounce androgenic?
I
You have some
can't
kind
do
of
it.
speech
I
impediment?
hear you try to say it.
Arborvitae's,
Can you say it?
I can't do it.
You can't say
Something
androgenic?
androgynous.
I might
can't
change
say-
my name though. I could go aristocratic for the wig and makeup.
Androgenic's kind of hard to beat.
Yeah, it is hard to beat.
It's
Yeah.
like 6 syllables.
People know what Looksmaxing is. I don't need to see somebody talk about hitting themselves in the face. Is that something you don't do that?
I do.
You do?
Yeah. But not as much as anymore because I have enough bones now.
Okay.
You said a fist?
Yeah.
Your fist, not
Yep.
someone else's?
Mine.
Why don't you just take a boxing?
More precise.
Did it work?
Interesting.
It did work. I have bones now.
Okay.
Actually, to be fair, I don't know how much is scar tissue, but the tissue's there.
How do you not get CTE from doing that? And we'll use
brace.
audio effects to edit that part out. What?
You have to brace.
You have to brace?
Does he look happy?
Does he look happy?
Yes. Or content? What does he look like?
He looks
Jubilant.
happy. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Just making sure.
He looks happy.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you hit yourself in the face.
Yep.
You're wearing a wig.
Yep.
You got surgery.
Yep.
Did you get height? Well, you didn't get height surgery, obviously.
Not yet.
Are you gonna?
Nah.
Okay. What, you got hair?
Do I have hair?
You got hair surgery
Yeah.
in Thailand.
Yep.
What did they do to you?
They needled my scalp with topical anesthetic that barely worked. It was
Yeah.
fairly brutal, but you know, like you said, you have to suffer for a bit.
Was it just needling?
I don't even know the exact process. They like take every graft out individually, like 5,000 grafts.
Okay.
Yeah, or 3,000, I think, and they implant them. Yeah, with like kind of a needle.
What's the hardest thing you've ever had to go through physically?
That's got to be up there. I'm not even joking. That's got to be up there.
Have you had anything awful happen to you yet?
Not really. Not too awful.
It's good to avoid awful things happening to you. Valentine, you're just untouched by all the life's awful things. But soon, you'll learn. What was the other surgery you got?
Rhinoplasty, nose job.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't look different because the swelling lasts ages. But
Yeah.
honestly, it already looks slightly improved, and it's been like 5 weeks, and that's actually pretty good. Pretty good timeline. I got it straightened, I got the bridge slightly trimmed, and then I got it deprojected by cutting out some of the columnella and slightly upturned.
This Looksmaxing stuff, what kind of space does it occupy for you mentally? Is it like your life quest to look perfect?
No, not really. It's not like that big of a part, especially nowadays. Like I would say in the earlier parts of my ascension, it occupied a bigger part of my day thinking, okay, how can I ascend? What can I do? I got into all the very advanced mechanisms and I obsessed over them. But now I'm fairly content with how I look. And the surgeries were for a multitude of reasons, not just looking better. And I didn't like obsess over my hairline or my nose like before. I didn't think about it at all.
What were the multitude of reasons that you got surgery for?
So one of them was for my platform, because no one that's in the Looksmaxing space and is like a big creator has actually gone forward and gotten surgeries. Like everyone says they're going to get surgeries, but no one does it. So I wanted to be a person who instantly says, I'm getting this done. And then within 2 weeks, I'm literally going under the knife. And so I thought that would be cool to see in the Looksmaxing space, someone actually taking action. I wanted to test my mind's ability to detach looks from my identity, because I looked awful during that period. And I spam posted myself looking awful all over social media, getting millions of views. And I looked in the mirror and I honestly was still happy. And so I did that as a mental test to see how much do I actually attach my identity to my looks. And the answer is not that much. I see them as a currency.
So in like a few months, you're going to have what, like an elf nose?
I don't really know how different it's going to be, honestly. Like, I don't even care if it's not that different.
Was it expensive?
Nah, really cheap. 3.5K.
How much was the hair?
3.5 as well.
Okay.
I thought it was way more.
Yeah, really cheap.
Maybe in Turkey, it's a lot.
Well, in Thailand, you just get a new body. You said that you knew that looks were important since you were 10 years old.
Yeah, I remember being super skinny, having no eyebrows, having like a ginger phenotype when I was like in grade 5. And I remember consciously thinking, I don't want to show interest to other women because I look like this, and this gives me a disadvantage.
Did people make fun of you or something, or were you just aware of how people are sort of superficial?
I wasn't necessarily heavily bullied or anything. Like, I just didn't necessarily command that much respect, and I wasn't like the top of the hierarchy, and I kind of sensed that. And it just became obvious, like small comments people would make, and just observing the nature of different interactions, you would see like the better looking people doing better socially, and the more athletic people and such. And so, yeah, it was obvious from like a very young age.
Would you rather have sub 50th percentile delts or 3 missing toes? You have to choose right now.
3 missing toes, easily.
Yeah.
Damn, genuinely.
We choose
3
which
missing
toes are
toes
missing.
is really not that much.
That's not a problem. Also, who's going to see your toes?
But that's going to affect your gait. The way you walk is very important to
so
your
I can
entire
just put in like some implant.
bionic man.
No,
You just have to fix your gait at that point. Fixing your gait's a lot easier than overcoming delts that are not big enough.
Yeah, fucked gait versus being a frame cell? I don't know.
Just put the booby pads on.
The booby pads? Well, those only, I asked you to get bigger shoulder pads. The ones you got, they're only like a millimeter thick.
Those are all they had at CVS.
They weren't big enough.
You stack them. There were 6.
I'm a fucking idiot. I should have stacked them.
You should have stacked them.
Not too late.
Crazy crooked teeth or missing ear? You legally can't fix either.
Missing ear, cover it with a wig.
It's quick. He's thought about
Wait,
this.
you can't cover it up either. They'll arrest you.
That's part of the prompt is you can't cover
Can't
it up
cover
either.
it up. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of screws me.
They'll
'cause-
arrest you.
Nah, I'll still have to go the ear because that's like some niche appeal to
Get a girl with a weird
got
kink.
into a huge fight, it got ripped off. I don't know.
But isn't symmetry part of the...
Cope. Like, look at Bradley Cooper. He's like Quasimodo tier.
Is he symmetrical or is he not symmetrical? He's symmetrical but ugly.
No. He's the opposite. He's asymmetrical but good looking.
He's asymmetrical but good looking. Okay.
Main character in
Symmetry is
Limitless?
that is a simple anytime you that's one of those things where you would to try to get a handle on what is this guy doing? Why is he doing this? Now this is an argument in favor of symmetry.
He's making the
What is
most...
this guy doing, man?
Training half his body to look uglier.
Why?
Since he's already ugly, he figures he wants to have striking appeal on social media by being even uglier.
Holy moly.
Uneven uglier, more like.
Brutal looking.
Can you get that guy off the screen, man?
Sure, there's some salmon.
He's trying to do it so he can pop up on Chris Lynch's TikTok feed. Would you rather have really bad BO always or you have to shit every half hour?
I already have really bad BO always. I'll just pick that.
Is that true?
Honestly, that's what I hear.
That's not true.
It's all the androgens.
How has the Looksmaxing space changed from when you first joined?
Well, the main difference obviously is its virality because it used to be gate kept highly. People didn't want you talking about it. It was like Fight Club type shit. Yeah, if you spoke about it anywhere, you would be berated, doxxed at worst. That happened to Dylan Latham. He got brutally doxxed. But eventually, Pandora's box was opened. We reached critical mass, and there's no hiding it now. So people don't give a shit anymore. That's probably the main thing that's really changed. 2023, that's when the floodgates opened. Because I remember in 2022, mid 2022, that's when I started posting on TikTok, and I was terrified that Looksmax would conflict with real life. I'd want to say like I'm fucking Mogmaxing, and I'd be like, no, I can't say maxing. That sounds so autistic, and now it sounds mainstream. But by 2023, I had people saying like, yo, Chico, Looksmax, fucking mogging, a bunch of shit. So that's when it became mainstream, and it's just gone up year by year.
All right, hit him with a 20-minute ad break. Sport drink is the real stuff. Real ingredients in a real can, not lined with plastic. Look at that. There's no shit in here. It's just sugar, like classic Gatorade. That's what you want in a pre-workout, unless you're gay. Most electrolyte products are basically the same. Weak mineral ratios, artificial sweeteners, and branding doing all the work. It's toxic sludge. Sport drink is different. It's closer to what the original performance-focused Gatorade was meant to be and improves on it. Faster absorption of water and minerals, better hydration, and better immediate usable energy for throwing plates in your small apartment. Because your life is out of your control. And we're back. Guys, it was a quick ad break, wasn't it? What if there's another one coming?
Welcome back to Video Game Histories. The first ever video game was invented in 1956.
Oh, the video game historian. Oh, well, can you imagine when they programmed Pong? It's so much history. Shut the f up. Getting off Discord and chat rooms where you're talking to people who in the 1800s would have been committed to an asylum, but you're talking to them like you're asking them for serious advice and like the weight of their opinions has meaning. I would say put them in an institution and fix your fucking sleep. And try this stuff. It's got fenugreek. Oh, this section's mandatory, so strap in. For a limited time, our listeners can get 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 free gifts. You get a lens cap. You get my phone. You get this. Boom. And it's also available on Amazon. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you. That's mengotomars.com. It's not like that. We're not going to do that to you ever again. All right, let's take some calls. What do we have for calls here?
Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset presents Get Rich Quick. All this could be yours. Give us a call on 434-2255-726. You could be making up to $4,917 per week. Now you can get your copy of Secrets of the Millionaire Mindset for just $19.99 for a limited time only.
I think a good way for little fat kids in middle school to Looksmax is ban t-shirts. I think that's the equivalent.
You can't let your kids get fat. That's like child abuse.
Yeah.
You can't be a fat kid. That's horrible. You got to fix that. That's the best time of your life when you're a kid and you're fat. I mean, I was chubby. It sucked. I wish I had a six-pack when I was a kid. Probably would have been way more awesome. I had to cope by wearing band t-shirts to school for people to think I was handsome. That sure got him. When I went to school, fat as fuck in a Marilyn Manson shirt with my hair wet, covering my face. They were like, "Oh, he's got a Marilyn Manson t-shirt. He's a Chad." I remember that. That was cool. It was better than having a six-pack as a kid.
I got compared to Marilyn Manson once.
Why?
I got told I look like him. Pretty brutal.
Oh, when you were in goblin mode?
Yep.
My grandfather thought he might have thought that I was Michael Jackson because he was dying and he was on medication. He called me Michael Jackson, or he said, "You look like Michael Jackson."
That's brutal.
That was fine.
What was the space in between him asking that or saying that and talking about the cutting a dog?
May he rest in peace. I think he had a horrible life. But what was the space between those two things?
Yeah, like, because that's
probably a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You failed to mention that when he called you that you were doing this,
Yeah.
that didn't help.
That's good. Yeah. They said you look like Marilyn Manson?
Yeah, pretty fucking brutal. And it was
Is that in real life or on the forum?
in real life, and it wasn't even meant to hurt my feelings.
That
That's
sucks.
the most brutal part.
Yeah. Damn.
It was just an honest comparison.
Any girls ever break your heart?
Not really, because I've never really been in love, I wouldn't say.
That's good. Means you're probably not a wacko.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a black pill phase where you were like, society sucks?
Yeah, in terms of black pill, I always kind of knew looks mattered. So it wasn't like some huge ontological shock moment that I had where some people, like, they think actually looks don't matter at all. It's all personality, and they get hit with the black pill and they're like completely shocked. That was never a factor for me. But it was like over time, realizing looks matter more and more, and then delving into certain forums. If I'd look up like Brad Pitt side profile or something, and then I'd see like lookism, and I'd delve into that many years ago. And I slowly kind of fell down the black pill funnel. Over time, I've kind of made my way out of it, because if I look back years ago, I had like some pretty extremist views on how much looks mattered.
Like what?
Just my concept of the ideal way to look, and then what you can achieve in real life from looking a certain way was so distorted. Like, I thought like a Giga Chad can just go up and like steal someone's girlfriend like instantly, or some shit like that. And over time, you kind of realize that all these other factors, they still play a big part in the overall pie chart of like attracting women and getting social respect.
Did you come up on the forums, these PSL forums?
Yep. Yeah, I was a known figure.
When did you start posting on these forums?
I signed up on October 6th, 2019. I became a pretty prominent figure all throughout like 2020.
Is it on Looksmaxxing?
Looksmax.org. It used to be looksmax.me. Yeah, I was known there as Looks, Loox. I was pretty notorious on there.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. And some people still refer to me as that. I posted on there up until around about like mid-2022, and then I kind of stopped.
Is it getting nasty on there?
Extremely. And I
Really?
used to partake in it, which I look back and I think it's ridiculous.
What kind of stuff did people say?
Some people spend all day on there just hating on others, calling other people ugly, like,
Damn.
Trying to hurt people's feelings as much as possible.
Sounds like a nasty place.
The majority of people that are in those kind of forums, they just have a bunch of self-hatred and self-doubt, and all they want to do all day is project that onto others for their own ego.
Are they mostly ugly?
I wouldn't even say necessarily. Depends. Like if you go more the incel route, then probably.
Do they look like skinny little mud people?
Some of them, but you can get a lot of people that are like on a bunch of steroids and still like talking shit to other people all day. And that was kind of me. And I see a lot of other caricatures like that on the forum.
Okay.
There's all kinds of people, because some people will take action in Looksmax, some people won't. So some people look decent, but they'll just be autistic as fuck. I mean, most of the people that are posting on a forum, you'd have to imagine they have some kind of weird mental archetype.
If you're handsome, if you're ascending, why would you hate on somebody else? I don't understand.
I think the reason for me was probably the micro traumas and negative reinforcement that I got growing up, and then kind of being indoctrinated into the idea of like the Chad, jock, bullies, the incel, and that's like the cycle of life. So like when I became better looking, and especially since I didn't have the things that I still wanted, I didn't have money, status, or women, despite like increasing my looks a bunch. And that kind of put me into a weird position where I was like, I thought things were meant to change a lot. Like they did change a lot, but I expected them to change even more. So that put me in a position where I had this resentment that I felt like I had to project on other people in order to satisfy my own ego. And I feel like that's representative of pretty much everyone on those forums, every person who posts a hate comment anywhere, really.
So did the looks ascension not do what you thought it was going to do?
I think it did, but it took time for things to catch up, because your behaviors have to align with your upgraded, ascended looks level in order for things to really play out well. Because people think they just jump in a Chad body and then go around fucking mass approaching women and doing all this stuff. But when it's your own ego at stake, it's difficult. you know, a lot of the time I just wasted the years like going to the gym, not really doing too much, expecting things to just be handed to me on a silver platter. And I didn't realize I needed to have agency and take accountability and go out and do shit.
Where else is there for you to go ascension-wise? Is there anything else that you need to achieve with your looks?
I would say at this point, I mean, I'm at severe diminishing returns focusing on looks. I can definitely put my effort elsewhere for higher return on investment, but I'm still down for some small things like, you know, I'll slowly perfect my physique over the years, even though I'm not that attached to the idea of getting bigger than I actually am. I'm not trying to be like a bodybuilder. So yeah, you know, fine tune my physique. And then I was thinking innovating by getting liposuction in the lower part of the face, the submental, and then all around the waist.
That's a good idea.
And then fat grafting some of that adipose tissue to the under eyes.
That would work.
Yeah. And, you know, that would be like a 2-week recovery, and that would be more content. I'd look better at the end. And I feel like liposuction is an underutilized surgery in the Looksmaxing fitness space.
I could see liposuction going viral. That's a big one. I should get my neck done.
Me too.
We should get it together. We can combine them.
It's easy. It's cheap, easy recovery.
We could do fat swap.
We can fat swap.
I could put your neck fat under my eyes.
That would look cool.
It would look cool.
That would look cool.
So PSL is pickup hate, slut hate, and what?
PUA hate, slut hate, lookism.
Lookism, okay. And that's the forums where they generated these ratings systems.
Yep, those were the first 3 forums that really focused on looks.
Okay, so this is statues of the idealized human form throughout history. 20 years ago, Africa. What do we say about this right here?
It's not looking too good at all. Frame cell, the gonial angle is definitely too low.
I was going to say that.
And looks like some prey eyes. The maxilla is not too ideal. The V-tape is non-existent. It's not looking good at all.
That's for fertility. This is a fertility idol.
Pretty good lat spread, though.
Those are the arms. Those are tiny little arms.
Oh.
T-Rex arms as well.
Well, this is some type of Ein Gazal. Where's that from?
I think from Ein Gazal.
All right, next.
Yeah, again, not looking good. So we have
Oh, you don't think so?
negative canthal tilt, prey eyes.
Damn.
That's true.
That's the angle, though.
I don't think it's just the angle. The maxilla is quite recessed. The jaw and cheekbones lack definition. The hair is not looking too ideal either.
Damn.
And just the overall
Nappy.
supraorbital angle is not looking too good. Yeah, I would say neck's narrow as well.
The neck is narrow, yeah. I mean, but are you, now would you, this is not a dig here, would you say your view is skewed because you're Australian?
Well, not specifically because I'm Australian, but maybe perhaps because I'm Western. It's still like a representation of a white guy. So I would say not too skewed based on that.
Have Australians evolved into something different at this point, or are they?
I think we're just convicts of the UK. I think we're pretty much the same.
Let's check out our next fella here. What do we say about this?
I can't really see too much. The frame's looking small. Can we get a zoom in on the face?
She's in a pose here. This is the female form. What do you, is this in your eyes, is this an ideal female form here?
Look, I can't really see the waist. It's being hidden, and a small waist is definitely a big factor for
It's
a woman.
not small. This is a Greek or Roman statue.
Yeah, and it's not looking too good. In the face, the maxilla's, again, looking quite recessed. The eyes are closed, but it does look like the eyes have a negative canthal tilt.
We don't like that one.
She's not a Stacy.
Who
by any
sculpted
means.
that one? What do you think of this right here?
Well, obviously they're an amputee, which isn't too ideal, but if we look at the face, again, same problem with most of the Greek sculptures.
That's kind of a mannish face, too, now that we're thinking about it.
It's quite androgynous, and again, recessed maxilla, negative canthal tilt. Definitely not a representation of a top-tier looking person.
Damn. Think of this guy.
The boxer of Quirinal.
Decent. Obviously, the frame's nothing crazy, and the overall size. I would definitely frame mug the shit out of him.
He's slouching, though. He's slouching.
I don't think that's going to save him.
Well, also back in then, that guy's probably 4 feet tall.
Yeah. The beard is obscuring the lower third. Again, the slope of the supraorbitals is very negative, and the maxilla looks to be a little bit recessed. So, again, not too ideal.
Is that guy big enough?
I mean, downstairs, I
Yeah,
think.
peanut cock, but
There we go.
ignore that.
Yeah, downstairs, the only place for him is like some prostitutes in Pattaya.
Damn.
Ouch.
That's a crazy thing to say about Hercules.
Beards. I heard beards were cope as well.
Beards are cope, yeah. Facial hair is cope.
For most people, yeah. But some people can look better with at least stubble.
Well, sometimes you have to cope.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if you
why
have
that's why it exists.
if you have a
to-
bad jaw, then the beard is likely going to be a net positive.
So it's better to cope than to be gross.
to expose yourself as a fucking baby face freak, yeah.
There's no point in not playing to your strengths and covering your weaknesses.
Yeah.
That's just the logical thing to do.
Are you wearing lifts right now?
Yep.
How much?
I think like 1 inch.
Can you pull them out and show me?
Here we go.
That's a pretty decent lift right there.
What do you think of that? These?
Is this bigger?
I think it is bigger. Yeah. You lift mogged me.
I'll just put that back in. We'll edit that part out.
Just a couple of layers between fellas.
It's just a piece of plastic. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't even need to be there. Take a call?
Yeah.
Hey, Sam. I just wanted to give some pretty basic advice. I know it isn't anything crazy, but it really has changed my life in the craziest way possible. And that's just going to the gym and really caring about how physically strong you get. You don't have to care about what you look like and turn into a gay woman or anything. Before I started going to the gym, I was an 18-year-old sissy boy. I remember having an argument with my sister where I thought that all cops should have their guns taken away, all that type of stuff. And afterwards, it was a slow process, but it initiated the biggest change of my life over time. The process of getting physically fit was very important to me, and I think it is for every man. So I know it's not anything crazy, but I think every man should take that seriously.
No, he said we shouldn't care what we look like gay women.
It's got a point.
I don't think he has one. It doesn't really make sense to not improve your appearance and for that to make you a gay woman when doing so can make you fuck more women.
Wasn't there a quote that you said that somebody was talking about your makeup and you said, I'd rather look like a pretty girl than an old Polish dad or
Yep,
something?
I did say that.
Are you wearing makeup right now?
Yeah.
What makeup are you wearing?
Mascara, eyeliner, a little bit of
Fuck yeah.
concealer, a little bit of contour.
Yo, I gotta start wearing eyeliner. I'm not fucking around. Can we have that on hand, Joseph? Okay.
It
That is
mogs hard.
badass.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
man.
I can't be told it's not masculine because in the aristocratic era, the ancient Egypt, they all had fucking, they were all rocking the makeup and it was a sign of status and wealth, right? So I'm not going to hear these fucking Western copes.
Yeah.
Powdered wigs,
Western.
too.
Exactly.
You
Damn.
look like the bad guy from Rob Roy.
The aristocrats, they wore the wigs and the makeup and they were mugging hard.
I'm doing eyeliner. Do you have a comment about that? Do you want to get it out of the way now? Anybody want to comment right now before it starts happening?
What about the nails? Is that Epstein fart?
Why are the nails any different than the eyeliner?
The eyes, if you have smoky, vampire, hypnotic eyes that mystify people on camera, that's what you want to do. I'm not going to do it in real life when I'm walking around. I'm not a psycho.
Yeah.
Right.
Not saying you're a psycho. Every male actor in the history of television was wearing mascara. I'm just gonna do it, and it's just gonna be a thing, and no one's gonna say anything about it, and no one's gonna call me out about it or say anything negative about it. But it's gonna happen. Sure. And I'm talking about the whole history of Looksmaxing, best forum posts or craziest threads.
There are a couple that come to mind. From the forum, a good one is Amnesia. He's interesting.
That's a dope-ass name.
Yep.
Is he a freak? Is he cool?
He's pretty cool. He's like pretty old now. He's like mid-30s, but he still looks really young.
That name is dope.
Yeah, is like really good looking and just kind of posted how his life changed as he became really good
Is that
looking.
him? It looks like a regular guy. Is he sick with it? Does he have good posts or something?
Yeah, I mean, he was known for being like good looking in the forum.
Okay.
But there's also Clavicular. He used to post a lot on the forum and now look where he is.
Uh-huh.
And then Nocturnal Kent.
Nocturnal Kent.
Yeah, he's a good
Rivera.
friend of mine. He's had like a really crazy ascension, so I would put him up there.
Was he a goblin, ugly goblin guy?
Extremely ugly goblin.
Is that him right there?
What?
Click on that. That's his
Yo.
ascension. That's his ascension.
Kidding.
That guy's legend.
Yeah.
That is a
He's
legend.
had an
Damn.
absurd ascension.
Wow.
That's the guy that hangs out with you all the time, right?
Yep.
He's pretty
good
tall,
for him,
too.
man.
Yeah.
Isn't he kind of tall?
Yeah, he's like 6'3".
Just gotta put some stilts on.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's
if you
insane.
look like the guy on the left, you're gonna have to start sticking needles in yourself.
Yeah. He just did what it took, you know? His life was shit. He
Wow.
changed it up. Now he's fucking mogging.
Good for him, man. That's the thing. The people that are addicted to, they watch these clips and stuff. They like to think that this lifestyle makes you unhappy and like it's mentally sick. It's probably just dope as fuck.
It is, yeah. People think that we're still focused on looks. Like, no, me, Nocturnal Kent, Clavicular, we don't really care about looks that much anymore. It doesn't occupy a huge portion of our day. We're focusing on other, like optimizing all areas of our life.
Recently, there was a shot across the bow on the internet saying Looksmaxing is gay. And then they also said retard maxing is where it's at. Have you seen this?
Retard maxing is good, yeah.
No, but
that's
it's
Elijah Long's thing.
I thought that this isn't Elijah Long. This is a retard maxer. So
Well, this is somebody that's on the Elijah Long side of the tracks here. Go ahead and hit play.
I live in a piece of shit house in the ghettos of LA.
This guy's stupid maxing.
The idea of maximizing the art of being retarded in order to destroy overthinking and logic.
This is just a retard goblin maxer.
No, this is like a libtard making a satirical video, I think, or to sell a shitcoin. I don't care about this. I don't know why that's in the videos. Retard maxing is I think most of the time when people think they get themselves into trouble. I think retard maxing is about obeying your instinct, being true to your sort of whatever the base level of reasoning that gloms on to insight before it can be negated by your cerebellum or wherever the higher thinking happens.
Prefrontal cortex.
Yeah, and just operating instinctually, which is probably what a lot of guys need to be doing.
True or false? So you would just respond true or false. And if you would like, you could elaborate on these statements. The first, ascend like nobody is watching.
True.
If a fully ascended Giga Chad brutal mogs in the woods and there's no Stacy around to see it, is it so over?
Yeah, I think it's over. Looks are just a means to an end, or at least they should be.
I was at the club. I left my drink unattended. Some prey-eyed cope artist cortisol spiked my drink.
True.
Looksmaxing seems to respect that reality is rich, and that there are many ways to be attractive through mogging, but only one way to be attractive through mewing.
False.
What are the different types of mogging that go on?
Mogging as a whole is kind of a word that describes being better looking and or more dominant than someone. There's like the face mog, the frame mog, the height mog, the overall mog.
The face mog, the frame mog. First of all, this sounds rude.
I mean, to some extent it is. It's basically asserting superiority over someone in a certain attribute.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is pretty crazy. It's pretty blunt.
Honestly, if somebody's like intentionally mogging you, why? It's time to attack.
Yeah, well, if you attack them, then and you injure them or kill them, then you've mogged them in violence.
Okay, so this is starting to work out. I can't imagine intentionally. Have you intentionally mogged anybody?
Yeah.
I can't put myself in those. I can't imagine that.
Every time I walk out the house, I'm technically intentionally mogging people.
You're savoring it?
Well, if I know that I'm going to mog people and I go and mog them, then it was intentional.
You do it intentionally?
If I'm going out and I know that I'm going to look better than X person, if I even interact with them, I'm technically intentionally mogging them.
Well, no, I think there's a sort of a criminal intent to it that I'm trying to establish here.
Yeah, so
a motive.
You mean for me to purposely interact with someone just to assert my superiority over them? Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it nowadays, but I've done it in the past.
That's evil. You can't do that. That's the career. I can't tell you not to do that, but I can't understand that.
It's not like I'm going to intentionally assert my superiority over my friends.
You got your boys following you around looking like weasels.
No, well, I wouldn't purposely have a friend around.
You got Micro Weasel and you got Lefty.
I mean, if anything, I would want...
Those are your wingmen.
I would want friends or wingmen that are as unmoggable as possible.
Yeah. Brian, you got to mog me.
Well, first of all, I've been holding back my power level.
The concept of mogging is just this, like, it just feels like ice water. I'm taking an ice bath.
It's almost, if somebody was like playing guitar and they're kind of good and they're just learning and they're trying, and then you pick it up and you're just like...
Yeah.
That would be rude to do that.
Yeah, but sometimes I guess the lamb has to be led to slaughter.
But then I would be like, that guy's an asshole. I don't want to hang out with the guy that grabbed his guitar.
Yeah.
Wait, what if the first guitar player was like a rapist and didn't tell anybody?
Well, that's often the case, though. That's what we're not thinking about, is that ugly people are evil.
That is true.
That is mostly true. That holds true. There's the Hollywood movie idea is that the jock is the bully and that handsome people, popular people, they're all serial killers, and it's actually the ugly guy that's so smart, he comes in and saves the day. And then you got a black doctor, which, don't get me started, the idea is that the handsome, well-adjusted, athletic people are evil, and the ugly fucking goblin guy is the good guy that saves the day with his big brains. In real life, ugly people, they just ruminate on their ugliness, and they turn into some sort of, they bring their daggers out and try to attack us handsome guys. I'm not speaking for handsome people, but Valentine, do you know what I'm talking about, or have you not even noticed this?
No, I've noticed it. I noticed.
You've noticed that ugly people have black souls.
Walmart people, I call them, where but it goes beyond just looks.
It's fat people too.
Yeah.
Fat people have a hatred in them that's it's unquenchable, which is why we kick them downstairs and we kill them.
There's a Shel Silverstein poem about, you could have a crooked nose and busted teeth, but there's something beyond that. I've seen people with features that were not perfect, but they were still appealing to look at, and they didn't bother me in the way that other people have a face that I want to, put somewhere else.
That's what we call harmony.
You can tell pretty quickly, what someone's personality is based on their face.
Physiognomy.
Yeah. It seems to work very well.
It blends both their internal attributes and their physical? I thought
Well, it blends Nazism with superstition, so that's why we like it.
It's a soft science.
Well, it blends Nazism with ignorance and superstition, which is why we like it.
We'll be right back.
What's this product? Does the name clue you in?
So, let me see the packaging.
BodyBrain what? BodyBrain Coffee. What do you think they sell?
Coffee.
Let's all yell it into our screen right now. BodyBrain what? Ooh, if I don't have my BodyBrain coffee, somebody's gonna feel it. Play that clip of me when I first tasted BodyBrain coffee. Editor, run that back. BodyBrain coffee. BodyBrain coffee. Chris?
Coffee, right, body.
Are you smoking indoors?
Yes. Light it up.
Light it up, guys. We're getting fucking high.
Get that BodyBrain coffee in your system. Make your morning work harder for you. Make your morning your slave.
Bless your day, sir. Bless you, sir. Enjoy your day.
Make your morning a black slave that was sold on the Gold Coast, also known as the Slave Coast, taken away from family and friends because the Africans, you were probably a no-good thief-type person that was sold on the boat, and you were put on the boat. The Amistad laid in there like a tin can, like a tuna can. Go lay in a wood coffin and imagine, I don't think they notice each other's sweat, but imagine that sweat and that humidity starting to affect you. That is a hellish, a nightmarish situation.
Use promo code SAM20 for 20% off your first order. I don't know if that code's still valid. Treat your morning like a little Timber and you're pretty on the plantation.
Coffee, right, body.
Does having game even matter, and is pickup artistry cope?
The biggest thing that matters is giving yourself a lot of opportunities. A big part of having game is actually just going out and approaching women. And a lot of people don't have the balls to do that. And so if you do it at all, you already have a decent amount of game. It's not like you have to say the perfect line. I don't know, have a bunch of fucking cards telling you what to say.
Do you have game?
Not really. I don't try and have the manipulative side to it. And I don't really care about the outcome that much. I just kind of talk.
One thing that Owen Cook said that was really good, in my opinion, was the opening line was just not talking. So you go up to a girl and you look at her like this.
That's interesting.
And then she starts, and then you change the head angle. That struck me as really funny. He said he was doing it to prove that it wouldn't work.
Connor Murphy, a huge fitness influencer, he made a viral video where he just went up to girls shirtless, he had a good physique. It just had the phone number screen on the phone, silent, nothing.
Yeah.
And he got the numbers.
Fuck yeah. Does Looksmaxxing elevate your standards for the girls you want? Does it matter if a girl is at peak hotness, or is it fine as long as she's normal hot?
I think that as I've gotten better looking, my standards have raised, and part of that is just because I have more opportunities, right? Another part is just that I've obsessed over so many different ratios, proportions, and attributes of the face that it's like hard to overlook flaws now.
I thought you were about to say that you obsessed over different races.
Oh.
And then we were going to talk about Filipino girls, but that's not going to happen on this show.
Race-maxing.
We'll talk about that later, Valentine. So you evaluate their flaws?
Yeah, subconsciously it's hard not to. Just having so much knowledge of
that kind of sucks.
The face. Yeah, it kind of does a little bit.
Damn.
But still,
what if you fall in love with a mid?
It would be tough. I would kind of almost be happy if that happened. The ideal is that you get infatuated with a girl who isn't attractive to other men.
Yeah, but mids have such a nasty ego, and other guys seem to kill themselves and cut their wrists over mids.
I'll just spike her with a bunch of DMT or something.
Okay. Inquire about the difference between a Looksmaxer and a natural Chad. Is this something people in the community talk about? I don't think the community knows what a natural Chad is. Is that a thing they know about?
No, they do know about that.
They got natural Chads in there?
Yeah, for sure. And
on the forums?
Not so much on the forums, but they just look up to like certain celebrities and stuff like that.
Who's a natural Chad? These celebrities?
Chris Hemsworth, something like that.
Which one's Chris Hemsworth?
Thor.
How tall is Chris Hemsworth?
6'3".
Oh, you know this.
6'3", I don't know if 6'3" gets you Chad status.
Dolph Lundgren.
How tall is
Dolph
he?
Lundgren's a Chad, yeah, but he's like 70 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
Who else is there?
He's kind of lost Chad status.
Well, he's a legend. You get legend status after you get Chad. Chad never dies, it becomes a legend.
The guy who plays Jack Reacher?
That guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
That guy's a pinhead.
Agreed.
You can't just have muscles and be a Chad. If you're obviously low IQ and have nothing, I'd slam dunk his ass into a toilet. Yeah, it's just like a Chad. To me, I think a Chad is like somebody who's has confidence in what they're doing. A Chad is someone who fights for Israel.
Who dies?
What is funny? They got rockets going overhead right now. What is funny about this?
Right.
Tel Aviv is under fire from rockets. What is a Chad?
A Chad, in the purest form, is just a guy who's basically has all the physical attributes pretty maxed out. Good face, tall, wide frame, good physique, lean. That's the idea of a Chad. Confident, eloquent, dominant, like knows how to fight, stuff like that. Just the overall like ideal male, essentially.
Links, what do we got for links here?
Oh, yeah. There are people cooking with plastic.
Rivera, what are you saying? Is she cooking a plastic plantain?
Not yet.
wait. There we go.
That's before. This is after.
What the fuck?
Right.
You don't want guy in food.
No. I don't want guy in anything.
Oh.
The part of the video is that she just put a plastic bag filled with oil in the pan.
What I'm saying is she's doing what it takes to look max those plantains. They look
The
better.
plate's broken.
The plate's broken and the plantains look good. I feel like we've sort of lost the focus here of the plastic bag going in the oil, which is something that people do. I don't think that's uncommon, strictly speaking. I think people take plastic bags and put them in the cooking oil and just let them melt.
Are you an animal
So
lover?
Androgenic, this is real audio of a squirrel eating. And how does this make us feel here?
I don't have too many thoughts about it.
Okay.
What should I be thinking?
I don't know. I mean, it's a cute little animal, but it's a prey animal. The Chad thing might be to think about stepping on its head and make its eyes bug out and kill it. That's crazy weight. What even are those? Are those 115? What weight are those dumbbells? Can we see?
125.
Is it 125?
125.
No way.
So cheater curls, 125, not bad. A lot of back workout there too. Even the legs are getting into it.
Spinal.
Is this guy a Chad?
It's not looking too good for him.
It's a Brad.
Ego lifting, pretty small frame and not too big. I don't know how tall he is. He doesn't look that tall.
But the aggression, though, the fucking pure masculinity in a public gym, slamming that shit down, looking like a psycho with a mask on.
Probably hiding his suboptimal lower third with the mask.
Yeah, but if you saw this guy in the bathroom, you'd run right out of there. Oh, wow, they made an Italian go to Olive Garden?
Yeah.
That's humiliating. You can close that. I don't want to make fun of an Italian kid. He's probably just saying he likes it not to be rude.
To not be rude.
Because
right.
Italians are good people.
That's right.
Olive Garden is disgusting. That's for subhumans. Olive Garden, that shit is bad. I went there as a joke probably 10 years ago with a buddy of mine. We were like, hey, let's go to this fucking restaurant. The joke was on us.
Yeah. When you're
That
chewing
place
that.
is sick. Olive
in that
Garden is
cud.
sick.
I went
You
on
guys eat Olive Garden?
I went on a date with
You ever
a
eat
girl.
that?
Valentine went on a date with a girl at
I
Olive
went
Garden.
on a date with a girl to Olive Garden, and she cried because I was wearing gym shorts.
Dog,
And I was like, it's Olive Garden.
You should have brought a PSP and been gaming the whole
She
time.
did not know how to use a knife to cut her meal.
You would have been better off if you had the full headgear braces on and a PSP. You were playing PSP. Want to go to Olive Garden?
So next time.
Playing one of those Tetris's games with like complex rules.
Tetris
Break out
on
the
an
Rubik's
old
Cube
phone.
for that one.
What do you think about going to Outback Steakhouse, Androgenic?
Outback Steakhouse.
Have you heard of it?
He doesn't know what that is.
That's racist.
He doesn't know what that
American
is.
thing?
That's an American
I mean,
thing.
I can imagine what it would
Delicacy,
be.
actually.
It's like an
Steak.
Australian themed. It's Australian themed.
It sounds good. I mean, I love steak.
Yeah, they got steak. They got the bloomin' onion.
Ask some Australian questions. They got bugs down there.
Propaganda.
Really?
Yep.
Is it like paradise?
I mean, it's pretty similar to here. Like,
You don't have scorpions the size of a Shaq sneaker?
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Well, you don't go to the Outback, right? Because that's like the
Nah,
That's
but-
like Fallout.
It's like when people were saying there's protests like destroying all of LA, and you go out to LA and there's nothing going on. Same kind of deal.
Okay. What's good about Australia? Are there good-looking people around?
I think it's the same as the US,
Did
depending
you
on.
look around this city? It's like
No.
a yeast infection factory. These women are walking around. They got fucking. What are they made? They're made of oatmeal around here. I was walking by the yoga place earlier, and I looked inside and I thought it was a bakery.
It's like a Jerry Springer guest factory.
Almost, yeah. But they're not even interesting enough to be on Jerry Springer.
They're the B-sides.
They're fucking just pajama people. Are there good-looking people in Brisbane?
So, yeah, I live in Brisbane. And
Is that how you pronounce it? Brisbane?
Yep. It's probably better looking than the majority of US states, like the average looks level, but it's probably lower than the places like LA and Miami, where like all the good looking people flood to. But at the end of the day, it's all basically mostly white people and then some immigrants. And so all the white people kind of look the same, but the better looking ones kind of funnel into certain areas based on opportunity. So yeah, I would say better than most of the US.
Did we see good-looking people in Miami?
The most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life are in
No,
Miami.
I didn't see one.
Interesting. Maybe it was a bad day. Was it raining?
I mean, it's like women with like fake butts.
Yeah,
Which is very, very unattractive.
I've seen a lot of attractive South African girls and Russian women.
You really have to contemplate what kind of looks level for a location is ideal for you, because ideally speaking, you'd want a lot of good-looking women but no good-looking men, because you want to be as high up on the hierarchy and have access to as many good-looking women as possible. So you don't want to be in an area where you're just getting mogged by everyone.
You want the Ukrainian refugee women
Probably a good medium.
hopping
yeah.
off the plane, saying hi.
Yep.
Yeah. Are there any locations like that?
I would say probably your best bet would be Eastern Europe, because that's kind of known for having good-looking women and worse-looking men. That would be a better ratio than somewhere like Miami.
Well,
where
do those
probably-
women go for looks, or do they just go for like a mobster that's going to punch them in the eye sockets?
That's a good
Alcoholic
point.
fathers.
They definitely would go for financial stability and like overall masculinity than just aesthetics.
Yeah. Whoever's going to protect them from sex trafficking.
Yep.
Valentine's expression.
But that's like, okay, so if that's the most appealing women are Eastern European, right?
Potentially.
But then they've got booze hound fathers.
Well, it depends on your style. If you want a woman that's seen a chicken's head get cut off a bunch of times, who has the body of like a boy gymnast, their faces are like little triangle. They look like video game. Like when you remember when video games they first started texturing polygons with like human textures.
Yeah.
Eastern European women, they're like
Max Payne-itis.
they got Max Payne face. Yeah.
Max Payne.
What's the ideal
Max
woman
Max.
to you? Is that a weird question? Is that charged?
That's not a weird question. Have you ever seen a woman that was like so shockingly beautiful that you're like, oh my god?
I would say, yeah.
What type of woman was it?
Really tiny waist and just like an overall face that looks generically like a supermodel, I suppose. Like I don't really care that much about hair color, eye color. Just if they have like a really good facial structure that just hits, it's like, whoa, that's a supermodel. That kind of thing.
So like facial features like angular. What is like a supermodel? Because supermodels look.
Okay, the way to describe it is kind of difficult, but just think about like Megan Fox, Madison Beer, that kind of thing. If they have that overall type of facial structure, that just looks like really supermodel-esque.
Wow. Okay. What's Madison Beer?
So do you mind like when they have like obvious facial surgery, like the ski slope nose, the LA,
Damn.
very typical.
That's what you like? Yo.
Yeah, that's.
Obviously, we know why guys are attracted to it. I just don't know. I just can't relate, but that's crazy.
That makes more sense than the not so intense makeup. Or do you like, is that your style? Like the very made up?
Do you like the heavy makeup look?
It depends on how heavy, but that's fine, yeah. I mean, she kind of has to wear more makeup than me. Otherwise, I'm kind of getting like...
makeup mogged.
Yeah, I'm getting like masculinity bogged.
Masculinity bogged.
Hey Sam, I wanted to leave some advice about business and making yourself better in life with business. Whenever I was 19, I was a total normie loser sack. I worked a construction job, hated my life, and it took some gumption and nutsack, but I started buying courses on how to trade stocks and start businesses, and I went out on a limb, quit my job with no money, and I managed to grind my way up through business by just working 24/7 and making it my full priority. So I think some good advice for people is like if you hate your job and you don't want to work a 9-to-5 anymore, I think you just have to stop being a pussy and spend 24/7 on an idea or a goal or an ambition that you have and create a business around it and just obsess over it and stop being a bitch. Thanks.
Sounds pretty good. If you're younger than like 35 years old, you can throw the whole weight of your existence into something and get like shockingly good at something. It's kind of it's kind of an amazing gift that you have when you're a young man, that you can get obsessed with something. So you got to be careful not to get obsessed with video games or some dumb shit. Try to get obsessed with something that's going to lead somewhere good. What's your plan for the next 5 years? You got a plan for 5 years?
Roughly speaking, for the next 5 years, I want to expand my platform, keep spam posting on short form like TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Be more of a celebrity?
Pretty much.
What if this stuff dies down? I don't think it will, but what if it does? What are you going to do?
If it somehow died down, I would just switch niches.
It's not going to die down. The niche might shift, but I don't think the niche is going to shift either. But what are you going to do? Like streaming shit? You going to do streaming shit?
Yeah, well, right now I stream...
maxing stuff?
Right now I stream like once a week, approximately, and a lot of that is just because of the clipping ecosystem. It gets my face out there a lot, but in the future I do want to stream like more often and get more of a presence in the streaming space.
Why are you only streaming once a week?
Just because I feel like there's not much to do, especially when I'm in Australia. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I guess I could walk around and fucking eat food, but usually I just stream like if I'm going out on nightlife.
You got to get to America. You coming to America?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Well, I just got to get a cameraman and then I'll just do some entertaining shit.
Don't you need a visa though? Don't you need a green card?
Oh, coming to America long term? Yeah, I mean, that would be a struggle. I can't stay here for like too long, but you know, I can get like 3 months here.
Is there a hotter city in Australia you could go to?
I would say, well, I currently live in Brisbane and it's the third biggest city, but Sydney and Melbourne have some issues with their nightlife. Like a lot of the stuff's spread out. I would say Brisbane is arguably the best place for like
street
nightlife.
mogging?
Yeah, for street mogging, essentially. Yeah, especially since being on the street is like better content than being inside like some loud venue.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I want to do like more informational content. I still want to post on YouTube occasionally and delve more into like the theory and philosophy behind Looksmaxing itself, and just become more of an authoritative and sort of
become like a
innovative figure in the space.
Communicator, influencer?
Rather than just a jester, I want to be more of an authoritative innovator in the space.
Well, we were talking off camera. You're a smart kid and you're very knowledgeable about this stuff. I don't know if if people know that about you yet.
Yeah, people that watch my YouTube would be fairly aware of that side of me, but that's a very small portion of my audience. Most people just see like me getting my wig snatched off and thinking that was a secret, and then seeing me like clip farm, pretend to get in some confrontation with a guy or girl, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it would be good to show behind the scenes my actual personality to a broader percentage of my audience.
You mentioned there's PUA hate on the message boards, the Looksmaxxing message boards. We had a PUA guy on earlier, and is there actual like, do Looksmaxxers hate the PUA thing? Is there like a war between these two?
Some of them do, and I think it was probably more of a rivalry back in the day, because what happened was pickup artistry was a huge thing going on, and then PUA hate got created as a space where people were like, these pickup artists are just scam artists, and this shit doesn't matter at all. It's all looks.
Yeah.
And so I think they probably held more resentment. It was like all the ugly guys thinking like, game won't do shit for me. I'm screwed because I look ugly. And, you know, then they didn't do anything about it and just rotted in misery.
That's an interesting thing because the PUA guys say looks don't really matter as much. It's about action, and then the Looksmaxers are all about, no, looks, and comparing the looks is more important, right?
Both of them kind of miss the mark because they're kind of basing it on their own experiences. Like obviously if you get really good at the game side of things, then your results will tangibly improve. And if you get really good looking, your results will obviously tangibly improve. And so they extrapolate from that. They think, oh, well, my life improved by going down this avenue. This must be the one that matters. And you notice this with like people who have tons of money and status. They all say that all women are gold diggers. It's like, well, that's what you're selecting for. That's literally your standout trait. And so there's a huge cognitive bias there where realistically all of these traits hugely matter and having all of them is going to benefit you the most.
What was that? Did you see that?
Dad, 14 karat white gold.
David Christian is the best known.
You're gonna want to stick around for this one. Close those blinds, light up that cigar, and prepare to have your mind expanded. It's the Sam Hyde Show, up next on C98.